Do you think brands from today, do you think they have the same nostalgia as Polo, and you think they're gonna have the longevity as far as Polo? Like Supreme, BBC.
I could see BBC having a lasting effect like Ralph. Not so much Supreme, because the thing about Supreme is it's not a knock.
I'm saying be careful. Be careful what you say about Supreme.
I ain't worried about this. Bring the brick. I got the crowbar. My man blessed me when they bring it. But like, it's not a knock on Supreme. It's the same problem I have with any company that creates a false hype. Like, if you know you're gonna get it from anybody, you know you're gonna sell it, you know you're gonna make the money. That's cool. The thing with Supreme is, right, you're creating such a niche and making people go crazy for it. At some point, people are going to get fed up. And that's what happened with Ralph, because Ralph went through that transition. He kept doing so much nonsense in like the early 2000s. That's why so many people gravitated away from it. That's what, believe it or not, I think that's what triggered the price point of things going up. Because when he started cheesing things up, a lot of people said, I'm not wearing this no more. People started going towards the Biggie Versace days, the Moschino. So it's like, oh, I need higher end. I can't wear this no more. It's lower end, so I need something different. So when they started tossing to Ralph, it was like, I feel like that's what might happen to Supreme, because they doing too much hype as opposed to giving you substance of what you really want. Like, you selling somebody $100 brick? Like, I mean, I got the crowbar, I make fun of it, but at the same time, it's like, do I really need it? And I thought about it. I was like, you probably sold me this because the next release, I'm probably going to need this.
Somebody bought that brick.
Somebody bought that brick. That's the funny thing about it. The rationality, the only thing I can rationalize behind that is like, I might need this to defend myself online on one of these Supreme releases. Because the nonsense you see with it is like, yo, I'm not fighting you for this. And that's why that actually hurt the Polo release not too long ago. When they dropped the Stadium collection, it was such, not even Stadium, sorry, like the Stadium in the first part of Snow Beach, it was such a shit show that dudes was out there wilding that cops, they started closing blocks down. There was like a borderline right in front of Bloomingdale's, like in the middle of Midtown Manhattan by the financial district. Guys, grown men are fighting. Macy's 34th Street was the same situation. It's like, yo, you're getting crazy over dyed fabric, bro. Like, this is not going to make you a better person. Like, you're going to be cool amongst a small circle, a small niche. Like, I'd rather be cool what's what I'm looking for? I'd rather be leveled around everybody than be big in one small niche. And I think that's what Supreme is going to do to themselves. Like, a lot of brands, they're building such a one little cult following that what happens when your cult no longer follows you? There's no more brand. You're going to have to like, oh, I got to reinvent myself. Or I got to try to find a new gimmick. And once you start doing gimmicks, you lose a lot. Gimmicks is cool to get attention. Once you got somebody's attention with a gimmick, show me the substance. And BBC did that when they first came out from back in the days when they was going against the whole babe stuff and the whole big crazy thing with it. I was like, all right, what else? 5 years later, I was like, okay, I like this. Then they switched up and when Red Monkey tried to give them a run, and that's when they came out with the running dog across it. I was like, all right, they show that they can adapt to almost anything that's coming at them, and they keep coming. Even right now, Supreme is going at them hard to a point like I'd still rock with BBC over Supreme because I see more different variety, more substance. Mm-hmm. If I go get a Supreme shirt, I want it to be Supreme. I don't want a Supreme that looks like somebody else's stuff. I like individuality, and I like being able to create individuality with a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. And some of these new brands, I see it. Some of them, I'm like, I want to see you in 5 years. I want to see something original from you, and there's hope, there's potential, there's a lot of new designers because there's a lot of more creative people I'm seeing come with a lot of crazy things. Like, I'm talking about this thing I saw online the other day. What was dude's brand? Something called Pesky, but it looked like a regular T-shirt or something, but it wasn't a regular T-shirt. It had like the designs on it. I was like, all right, I see creativity with that. Mm-hmm. Now I'm waiting to see what's next, what else. Mm-hmm. I'm more like on the show, who's up next? I'm like, what's next? What you got? What you want? You got. Mm-hmm. And I need to see that out of some of these brands, man. I'm not knocking Supreme, not knocking y'all, you know what I mean? I rocks with Complex, I got people over there, so I don't want y'all coming after me.
That's another thing. Do you feel like talking about the whole Complex situation? You want to talk about that?
I mean, shout out to them dudes, bro. I mean, I'm in a documentary. I just wish somebody would have hollered at me.
Explain to everybody how it went down real quick before we...
Alright, the thing with the whole thing with the Complex documentary. It was from the Logos the year when it was doing the whole battle thing, and I was pulling out the one-on-one. I didn't realize they were filming it. I knew my man Stephen Lau was there, a couple of dudes I know was dealing with them, but I didn't know the documentary was being shot. So earlier this year, I get a phone call at work. My man's like, yo, go check this thing. I'm like, all right. Then I get another phone call. Why are you not excited? I'm like, it's a movie about polo, dude. Like, it's my life. Like, I could get so excited. What else? He's like, now go check it out. Turn it on. I'm like, Complex had a whole feature when they had me there talking Mr. One-on-One, but I'm like, nobody spoke to me or got any form of feedback. But I'm like, I still like the documentary. It was a great product because it brought light to a lot of things that people didn't realize, that how Ralph Lauren and polo itself influenced hip hop, and how it was like a symbiotic relationship, because the Ralph fueled the hip hop, and the hip hop fueled it. And not to go really go really wild tangent, that's what made polo cool back in the days. You could be wearing this, and you turn on the TV and you see your favorite rapper wearing what you're wearing. It's regular. As opposed to now, you turn on the TV, you see the rapper that you're into is wearing like $5,000 shirt. You're like, okay, I gotta get that. Now you feel I have to. I'm trying to be him. Back then, the rapper was me. He was like you. He was me. He was the guy that you saw, except he was just rapping. And what he wore, I ain't gonna say what he wore made you feel better about yourself, but the fact that this guy has multi-millions and he's still dressed like I do, it made you feel better about yourself. And that's what Ralph did a lot, because you felt the confidence. I could blend with these multi-millionaire white boys. I could blend it with these big time rappers on stage, or I could be just a regular guy just dressing regular and be comfortable with what I'm wearing and still be fly in the hood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And go ahead, because you kind of drifted off from the Complex situation.
My fault, yeah.
Yeah.
So with the Complex thing, I'm like, yo, with all this possible, it's like, have a conversation with the homie, because I'm like, there's a lot of stuff that is beyond just what you guys put out there. There's a lot more beyond just the industry stuff, because the industry is cool, but a lot of it really started from the grit. Like, shout out to Thurston Howell, because he really was from the grit with it, from the basic of the whole polo low life thing, and he was grinding. Ralph didn't actually recognize him until this year. Like, for as much work as the low lives have put in, as much as recognition as they've done, as much accolades as they've gotten, as much world renown and helping your brand become so big, it wasn't until this year, after the Complex thing. Even though the Complex documentary says Ralph did not participate in this, like, everything was about, like, yo, dude, these are the dudes that are keeping your brand alive. This is why in 2018, a brand from 1967 that was starch it was a colonized starch brand, but Urban Kids from the Hood took it, flipped it, and says, this is how you could wear it, and we're helping it and we're keeping it alive. But it took up until now for them to recognize, and I feel like he only recognized it because he saw the impact from the Complex, and he had no choice with it. And then he reached out to Thurston, and Thurston became like, I don't say he's a spokesperson, but he's like the one person in the culture that he really gravitates and be like, all right, I recognize him as this.
I'm gonna move on to the other hip hop stuff. Do you want to ask him anything, Jay? You want to ask him anything?
Yeah, it was something about Supreme. Sorry. Yeah, you mentioned how you like your clothing to have originality. I know you see like Supreme collabs with a lot of other things. How do you feel about that?
See, with the collabs I can get with. I can respect the collab because you basically taking somebody's creative input and using your creative input, and you're meshing and creating something different. So with the collabs, I see it more as like not just a chance to expand the brand like most people think. It's a chance to get more creative and reach a whole new demographic that you probably wasn't getting before. So the collabos with that, I could appreciate those. The standalone jack somebody else's logo and then rename it. I like don't let me wrong. I love the North Face Supreme collabo jacket. Like, I love it. I don't love the price point on it, the resale price point on it, but I love the design on it because it's creative and it's original. Like, things like that I can totally get behind.
Like, back to the originality thing. In my opinion, I seen one of the first collabs I seen was with Nike when a Supreme. I think it was I want to say it was a high top Air Force One, like a all white and red or something like that. And the only thing I noticed different was Supreme was where the Nike check is supposed to be. Yeah. I don't think it's
not original.
I don't think that's original. I mean, you just took the logo off another brand and put your logo there and said, "Hey, this is the Nike Air Force One with Supreme."
Look at their brand logo.
Yeah.
The square box that says Supreme. That came from, what was that brand? Even that came from another design. Was it? Was it 2 Deep?
Not Supreme. Is it 10 Deep?
I'm not sure.
But like the original logo, that Supreme box is somebody else's logo.
Oh yeah?
They just put their name in the middle of it.
And like, that was it?
That was it.
I mean, they got do the font
They changed the font a little, but like like I've seen so many like I'm getting so many backlash me on Supreme. You know what? I don't care about Supreme, man.
I think it's Obey.
Obey.
It was Obey. They jacked Obey's whole joint. So I'm like, that's what that being said. I think why it sounds like I have a gripe with Supreme, because some of my favorite Ralph designs I could not get my hands on, Supreme would drop them straight down. I'm like,
they look, there it is.
Yeah. They took the logo and ran with it.
Damn.
Yeah. Like, so it's not a hate against the brand. I love clothes, so I look at logos and I need originality. It's the '80s, man. Like,
and then since we're on the whole Supreme thing right now, real quick, what was your thoughts when you seen Busta Rhymes and Split Star? They had fake Supreme
Louis
matching Louis. It was a Supreme and Louis like hat and sweater, and everyone pointed it out on them about it. And these are legends, you know what I'm saying? These are legends.
You want a joke? I'll do you one better. Do you remember the Chris Brown "Look at Me Now" video?
Look at me now. Yeah.
If you look at the Busta video, all those jackets he's wearing, those are fake low jackets with a Bushi logo on them.
I have to go back and look at that.
The first time I saw that video, I was like, oh, he got the Sui. I was like, wait, that's not a Sui. What the hell's a Bushi? Or whatever his brand was. I was like, what? Now look at the other jacket, I was like,
so this is not the first time.
It's not the first. I'm not like.
Wow, you pulling a lot of cards here, man.
You pulling a lot of cards. You pulling a lot of cards.
Yo, the internet is there, man.
The internet is there.
I was there, and it's still there. Like when I see some of these, I'm like, oh, and it's heartbreaking in the sense. It's like, it's not that I want to be a stylist, but I look at some of these dudes, I'm like, who dressed you, bro? And who told you that you should wear this fake knockoff and think it's gonna be okay?
Like there's people like you that really do this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're gonna look at that and be like, yo, that's fake. There's gonna be people look at that and be like, that's fake. That's fake shit.
The other reason, I keep giving you funny little stories. Why fakes bother me? I went on a college tour. I ran across an 8-lane highway, almost got hit just to run it, realizing that the store I'm running towards had nothing. It was not Polo. Do you guys remember? There was a store called The Limited that had a whole bunch of sweaters that said USA on it. That's when Polo was dropping nothing but USA items. Polo USA Sport, Polo USA Sport. I'm down there visiting me and my man's there. We stopped across the highway. It was Morgan State University. It was like 1995 on the highway looking across. Dudes is looking for something to do. We looked across the street from across the highway. Imagine you just seen a big window. I'm talking about gigantic. Oh, you see it's USA, red, blue, colors that you like. I never seen this. Oh my God, it's out of state. Dudes is running, and I realize like, oh, this is a highway because city kids. When I used to like some of the country stuff down there, get right in front of the store. It's like fake Polo. What the hell is this? Like after that point, like every time I saw fake low, it struck a nerve because it made me feel like you guys almost made me do something stupid for this. Like I probably was gonna come in here, probably steal it if I didn't have it on hand. But I'm like, it's knockoffs. Being you guys got knockoffs, knock it off, man. Stop messing with me.